Hey everybody, Blitzball Champs back here with a brand new video. Today, gonna do some Carolina Panthers talk. So, as it's drawing closer and closer to the start of the NFL season, barring any craziness that may happen or that may change, I wanted to take some time to talk about a couple of key things that I really feel need to happen and work out well in order for the Carolina Panthers to at least be successful enough to make it to the playoffs or even just have an incredible season. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's start with the offense first. So probably the main key thing that needs to happen: consistency with the offensive line. Now, one thing that's sort of in question recently is Russell Okung is contemplating retiring, due to you know everything that's going on with the EXO crisis. And on one hand, I understand. On another hand, it would kind of suck if that happened because Carolina got traded Trey Turner to get him, which honestly I was still kind of against ever since it happened in the first place. Because I mean, Trey Turner's much younger and still was a great tackle, or excuse me, was a great guard. But my whole thing with the offensive line is I honestly don't feel like the offensive line has been good since before Andrew Norwell left. So I really feel like the offensive line needs to be on point and as consistent as possible for the offense to be successful. Like, it's a good thing that we got some good news, like Greg Little. He's come off the PUP list. He's good to go. He's passed his physical. We shades, saw little flashes of Greg Little when he did play and actually did well. So I think his health really, really has to be on point. And I think Greg Little can be a success, but he has to stay healthy because he showed flashes of how well he can play, but he has to stay healthy. And I think that could enhance the offensive line very well. Matt Paradis, he's got to do better. Matt Paradis hasn't really brought it yet. And I feel like this is his best opportunity to really step it up and really fill those shoes that Ryan Khalil once did so well for so long. So really, really hoping that Matt Paradis can do that. And really just figure out, what lineup of the offensive line will have the most chemistry and build on that. Because really that's where this offense is gonna either succeed or it's gonna be destroyed, and folks are gonna be subject to injury. So to me, that's probably the biggest deal with the offense that has to be on point. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They have to be on point. Secondly, is of course Teddy Bridgewater, Carolina's new quarterback. Yes, I understand a lot of us do miss Cam Newton. So do I. But it's the next man up, and Teddy Bridgewater's our guy. Showed great flashes with the Saints, especially winning 5 games, coming in as the backup for Drew Brees when he was out with injury. and did well. I know a lot of people are not sold on Teddy Bridgewater, and some can say that there's really no comparison between him and Cam Newton. But let us also keep in mind that Teddy Bridgewater was doing extremely well and was in candidacy for MVP talks back in Minnesota before he got hurt. Let's all remember that. Not to mention, Teddy Bridgewater is younger than Cam Newton. But let's keep that in mind. And then once he is back and is healthy now, I mean, you can't downplay what he did in New Orleans. You can't downplay that because at any moment or time, if your number is called up, you still got to go in there and perform. And that's what he did. So therefore, he deserves this opportunity. Now whether he does well or not remains to be seen. But no, I don't think Teddy Bridgewater is trash. I don't think he's anywhere close to being trash. Because he was doing well in Minnesota before he got hurt. And that's a fact. So, I really hope that Teddy Bridgewater can gel well with this offense. And he might surprise some folks. So, just let's see how he does. I'm really hoping that he can be the leader and can be consistent on the Carolina Panthers offense. And like I said, I think he'll surprise us. I'm staying positive. I don't know about y'all. Next on offense, Ian Thomas. Now it really, really has to come down to Ian Thomas, especially in the receiving game. We no longer have Greg Olsen, so it is on Ian Thomas to really step up and lead this tight end unit. And I just don't feel like he's really done it yet. And now is very critical that Ian Thomas step up and really show that he can be a reliable weapon in the offense and build some consistency. So keep an eye out for Ian Thomas. Like he's really got to be key to this offense. Because he's kind of had to, take sort of a back seat with Greg Olsen having to be the one to carry the load. Now Ian Thomas has to carry the load. So Ian Thomas has to be on point this season. He has to step it up and show that he can be a reliable weapon in the offense. Next on offense, the chemistry with the receiving core. I really hope to see more Curtis Samuel in the mix. Robbie Anderson was a really good pickup. So I hope that he can do as well as he did with the Jets. DJ Moore has definitely shown that he can be a number one receiver if he can maintain his performance. He's improved on securing the football and making good catches and runs. So he's definitely improved since his rookie year. So if Bridgewater can have the sort of chemistry with the receiving core that Cam had with the receiving core that led them to the Super Bowl, I think that would rock. I think that would definitely rock. So really, really hope the chemistry with the receivers go really well. Because I really feel like each and every one of those receivers can blow up. I can't single out just one receiver. I think any of those receivers can blow up and be successful. And lastly, the backup for Christian McCaffrey. Now, I know a big thing is Christian McCaffrey continuing his production and staying healthy and being utilized as the main weapon of the offense. But I really want to see a second running back step up and really help carry some of that load off of Christian McCaffrey. Whether it be Jordan Scarlett or Reggie Bonifon, which we saw some good flashes of Reggie Bonifon and even, some from Scarlett in the preseason. And maybe Reggie Bonifon will be that guy. But I really feel like another running back needs to step up and share the load with Christian McCaffrey. Mainly to make sure Christian McCaffrey can stay healthy and not take a whole lot of hits because he's still a small guy. And just, making another target, another reliable target that can potentially split the load with Christian McCaffrey, especially when Christian McCaffrey isn't in the backfield and is split out at wide receiver. I think that would really go a long way. And, but like I said, maybe Reggie Bonifon will be that guy. We saw some flashes of him before. It's pretty good. So we'll have to see. But those are my main big key items for the offense that really have to be on point in order for the offense to thrive. Now let's switch gears for the defense. So, number one, leadership. And let me explain. There are 4 players that come to mind that I feel like have the best chance of really being the voice / leader on the defense. Of course, we previously had Luke Kuechly as that guy. He retired. He's no longer here. So the 4 people that I had in mind: K'Wan Short, Shaq Thompson, Dante Jackson, Trey Boston. These are the 4 players I feel have the best opportunity to really be the leader on the defense. Let's start with K'Wan Short. We got a healthy K'Wan Short. He's back. He's ready to go. He's been working out. He's cleared. He's back. K'Wan Short was pretty much our big, dominant defensive tackle on the D-line. And now we got some young guys coming in on the D-line. Bravion Roy, our first round draft pick, Derek Brown, YGM. I'm hoping these guys are hungry. And having somebody like K'Wan Short on the D-line, I think will really, really be a great role model and really boosting up these guys, these up-and-coming guys. Derek Brown and K'Wan Short in the middle, side by side, I think could really plug up the middle of the D-line. When you got YGM on the edge, get Brian Burns on the edge, I think you could really do some damage. So I really expect K'Wan Short to really step up and be the leader, even if it's just on the D-line. I think that he could really, really be the catalyst, the leader on the D-line. You got some young guys coming up that could really grow to be stars, and this is a great opportunity for him to help usher that in, especially now that he's back. So, K'Wan Short, definitely keep an eye on him, and hopefully he can bring back his production that he once did when he was healthy. Next, Shaq Thompson. And I really feel like the biggest target on the defense is Shaq Thompson. Either the first or the second biggest target. Shaq Thompson. So, no more Luke Kuechly. No more Thomas Davis. And I know Carolina brought in Tahir Whitehead, who is a veteran. But it's still kind of up in the air who's going to be that other linebacker, but it's looking like Shaq Thompson is going to get moved to the middle linebacker position. Either that or they might stick with Tahir Whitehead. I don't know for sure, but Shaq, is the one on there, that has the most experience with the system now. But he played under Thomas Davis, played under Luke Kuechly. So I really feel like a lot of wisdom taken from that puts him in a prime position to really become that leader on defense. Shaq is young and hungry. Shaq has the ability. So I really hope that Shaq can really step up and be that leader, transition to that leader role on the defense, especially with the linebacking core, because the linebacking core has drastically changed without Thomas Davis and Luke Kuechly. It's changed quite a bit. And of course, the group is going back to the 4-3 defense. So there's a lot to really relearn and go over. But Shaq, this is Shaq's chance to shine, to really, really shine, and potentially be in the core of the defense, like Luke Kuechly once was. We'll have to see what happens. Next, Dante Jackson. Okay. Dante Jackson right now, I believe, is the main cornerback on the team that has, the most experience. Because we got some young guys on cornerback now. Or just defensive backs in general. We got some young guys. So Dante Jackson really has to show up and be excellent, like the flashes that he showed when he was a rookie. He showed great flashes of his talent as a rookie. The dude can go after the ball. The dude can make big plays. But he needs to allow himself to be as 100% coachable as possible. Check the attitude out the door. Listen and learn and apply. That's the main thing. Listen, learn, and apply. Dante Jackson has kind of a hothead, doesn't always listen, and he's young, so I get it. But Dante Jackson has the opportunity to be that leader for the defensive backs and to really make the biggest impact. Because now, Dante Jackson is going to have to be the one to guard the big name receivers in the NFL. It's going to be up to him for those matchups. So Dante Jackson really has to show up. He has to focus, and he has to be 100% coachable. He's got to be. It's the only way this is going to work for him. And then we have Trey Boston. Trey Boston, I feel like he could be the loudest on the defense. And like I said, Trey Boston, has done well in Carolina. He's definitely been able to make plays. He's had some good rounds. But now I feel like he really, not only just for the safeties, but I really feel like he could really help motivate and just bring a lot of morale to the defense. So I feel like Trey Boston would be a good fit for that. And also, be that role model as well. Because we got some young up and coming safeties as well. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting. We need those type of DBs to really rev up. Troy Pride Jr., Jeremy Chin. A lot of work needs to be done. A lot of work needs to be done. And ultimately, two of my big things: stop the run, stop the deep ball. We have gotten beaten so much on the deep ball, and we have gotten literally obliterated on the run. Last year, like, the run defense was like one of the worst that I've ever seen. So Carolina has to really, they need to stop the run. That's heavy priority. Stop the run. And secondly, stop the deep ball, because they've been beaten deep so much throughout the season last year. So D line has to really be consistent on the pass rush and stopping the run. And DB's gonna have to cover. So those are my two main keys for the defense. Stop the run at all costs. Stop the deep ball. So um that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all that I have. What do y'all think? What are y'all's thoughts on what y'all feel are the keys to success on the offense and defense for the Carolina Panthers? What do you feel like needs to happen the most for them to succeed and at least possibly get a playoff spot? Which, don't know if that's going to happen, but you know what? I'm going to stay as positive as I can. A lot of people are already throwing away this season, with everything that's happened with the changes with the NFC South and Tom Brady's with the Bucks. Look, a game hasn't been played yet. Let's stop jumping to conclusions. It'd be different if, we were mid-season and, it was looking really bad. But it's like, folks, fans, Panther fans, come on now. A game hasn't even been played yet, and already people are throwing this season away. Now, if it's thrown away because of, the XO crisis, totally understand. We still might not even have a season. But y'all, please, from one Panther fan to another Panther fan, don't throw this season away just because, you know, we don't have the players that, we should have, or because of how things may look. We haven't even played one game yet. We haven't even seen these guys in action. Let's wait and see these guys in action before we jump to conclusion. So many people want to tank for Trevor Lawrence. Tank for Trevor Lawrence. Why? Why? There's no assurance that we would even get him. I mean, if you want to tank for Trevor Lawrence, then honestly, you might as well not even watch a game. If we have a season, you might as well not even watch a game because, the tanking mentality, really, to me, wanting to tank for Trevor Lawrence makes me feel like you don't care. I mean, why? I mean, why would you? You want the team to tank and lose as much as possible just to get one player, and I just think that's a really coward mentality. On any given day, anything can happen. Give these players a chance to become stars. Give them a chance. I've learned this the hard way through the 7-8-1 season. I learned this the hard way through the 2015 Super Bowl run. Because I was one of those as, oh, we lost our best receiver in Kelvin Benjamin. It's over. And look what happened. So please, Panther fans, please, before we jump to the conclusion, I understand, you make your predictions. That's fine. But jumping to the conclusion of we should just tank for Trevor Lawrence or this season is a wash. Can we wait until they play a game before we jump to conclusion? I'm not saying we're going to make the playoffs or win a Super Bowl or get destroyed, But I'm anxious to see how we do. I'm anxious to see the team play. So before we, you know, resort to tanking, we're at 0 wins and 0 losses just like everybody else is. Everybody else has to play to win just like we have to play to win. So just please, let's wait for the season to start. This is Blitzball Champ. Thank y'all for watching. Everybody have a blessed weekend. I'll see y'all later.